Learning objective number 5 is to determine the level of sales needed to attain a target profit. We can compute the number of units that must be sold to attain a target profit using either the equation method or the formula method. The equation method is based on the contribution approach income statement. The equation we have used is that profit equals unit CM times units sold, Q, less fixed expenses. Our goal is to solve for the unknown Q, which represents the quantity of units that must be sold to attain the target profit. Part 1. Suppose Racing Bicycle Management wants to know how many bikes must be sold to earn a target profit of $100,000. Let's use the equation method to help management. Part 2. Our equation should read $100,000. The target profit equals $200, the unit CM times Q, the unknown units to sell, less $80,000, total fixed expenses. Now we solve this equation. Part 3. As you can see, the target unit sales to produce net operating income of $100,000 is 900 bikes. Why not take a few minutes and verify this answer? Target profit expressed in units sold. For this equation, we divide the sum of the desired target profit plus total fixed expenses by the contribution margin per unit. Part 1. Suppose Racing Bicycle Company wants to earn net operating income of $100,000. How many bikes must the company sell to achieve this profit level? Let's use the formula method. Part 2. Unit sales to attain the target profit level is equal the sum of $100,000, the target profit, plus $80,000, total fixed expenses, divided by the unit contribution margin of $200. We arrive at 900 units sold to earn net operating income of $100,000. We can also compute the target profit in terms of sales dollars using either the equation method or the formula method. Part 1. The equation method is based on the contribution approach income statement. The equation we have used is that profit equals CM ratio times units sold, sales, less fixed expenses. Our goal is to solve for the unknown sales, which represents the dollar amount of sales that must be generated to attain the target profit. Suppose RBC Management wants to know the sales volume that must be generated to earn a target profit of $100,000. Part 2. The company must generate sales of $450,000 if it wants to earn net operating income of $100,000. Part 1. The formula method is summarized on this slide. It can also be used to compute the dollar sales needed to attain a target profit. Study the equation in the box on your screen. Part 2. Suppose RBC wants to compute the dollar sales required to earn a target profit of $100,000. The formula method can be used to determine that sales must be $450,000 to earn the desired target profit. The Coffee Klatch wants to earn a monthly profit of $2,500. How many cups of coffee must the company sell to reach this profit goal? We add the desired profit to the fixed cost and divide by the unit contribution of $1.13. The company must sell 3,363 cups of coffee to reach its profit goal. The Coffee Klatch wants to earn a monthly profit of $2,500. How many sales dollars must be generated to attain the target profit level? We add the desired profit to the fixed cost and divide by the contribution margin ratio, 0.758. The company must generate $5,011 sales in order to reach its target profit of $2,500. Learning objective number 6 is to determine the break-even point. The equation and formula methods can be used to determine the unit sales and sales dollars needed to achieve a target profit of 0. Let's use the racing bicycle information to complete the break-even analysis. Part 1. To find the break-even point, we set profits equal to 0 and solve for the unknown quantity. Q. Suppose RBC wants to know how many bikes must be sold to break even, earn a target profit of $0. Part 2. Racing Bicycle has a unit contribution margin of $200 and total fixed expenses of $80,000. Take a second and solve this equation. How did you do? In the case of Racing Bicycle, 400 bikes must be sold for the company to break even. If the company sells less than 400 units, it will incur a net operating loss, and if it sells more than 400 units, it will report net operating income. Part 1. A quicker way to solve this problem is to add the desired profits to the fixed cost and divide the total by the contribution margin per unit. Part 2. Notice we get the same result of 400 bikes. Suppose Racing Bicycle wants to compute the sales dollars required to break even, earn a target profit of $0. Let's use the equation method to solve this problem. We must set up the equation and solve for the unknown value of sales. Part 1 here is the equation that will always be used to calculate the break-even point in a single product company. Remember, we solve for the unknown sales. Part 2, in the case of Racing Bicycle, dollar sales must be $200,000 for the company to break even. Part 1, you can see that if we elect to use the formula method. Part 2, we calculate the same $200,000 sales at the break-even point. Let's calculate the break-even in sales dollars for Coffee Klatch. With a contribution margin ratio of 75.8%, rounded, break-even sales revenue is $1,715. Now use the contribution margin approach to calculate the break-even point in cups of coffee sold. The contribution margin per cup of coffee is $1.13. The number of cups to sell to reach break-even is 1,150.